Well, hello guys, and welcome back to a Nintendo Thoughts On video. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the new Splatoon Direct. And hey, look, we're going old school, no podcast style for once. Yeah. Everything's changing. Everything is changing. So we got a Splatoon Direct here, which, okay, I've said before, not so subtly, I'm excited for Splatoon 2. I really liked Splatoon 1, and the second one looks like it's moving along the right track. Very similar to the first one, but what do you expect from the modern games industry, right? That's kind of how things have worked for the past decade, even if not everyone realizes it. No, seriously, there are some people who do not understand this is how the game industry has worked for like a decade now. It's all Call of Duty's fault. But we got the presentation, right? And with the old style, let's just kind of skip around, right? Look at stuff. You know, it's a lot of this is what we've seen before, right? Going into a little bit more detail on how stuff works. Not too much, and there is some big stuff that we'll get to here in the end, so I'm going to kind of skip around very broadly for a lot of this. But right, we got a lot about the different just about generic maps. They went through a tour of Incognito Square. We got some new characters, some old characters. This is the headwear shop, Flo. Right. I like most of these new character designs. This is Gelfonso. Have we seen him before? I'm pretty sure he was the shop owner in the first Splatoon, but I don't entirely remember. It's been a while. This is Bisque. He's the footwear owner. He's a spider crab. Oh, okay, right? Because Krusty Sean's in this game. He's somewhere else. Right. And then we got Sheldon, who, right? We all know, and he talks a lot, and they do acknowledge it, and they now added a skip feature so that way you can skip past his dialogue. I hope that works in the early morning routines. I don't know if it does, because I know some people really got annoyed by those early morning routines, which, again, we'll talk about. But, yeah, no, it's Think Plaza's wrapping up well, right? Everything's looking good. Next they showed off a bunch of weapons, sub-weapons. Okay. Right, we know how all this works. We see some of the, like, this is the new test arena, right, where you could test out weapons. It's clearly a lot bigger than it was last time. And we've got new weapons, let's see. They explain how some of these work, right? I was hoping for a new type, and we didn't entirely get that yet. But we got new varieties of weapons. Like here we got the Clash Blaster, which is a type of blaster. Okay, not really my style, but I'm fine. It's not the worst thing. We got a new type of roller, which is definitely my style. This one is all about one of the changes in Splatoon 2 from the global test fire that I'm still kind of split on is that rollers can now throw farther distances, right? Like, they can do a vertical swing, and this roller specializes in a vertical swing, so, we'll see. I'm still not entirely sold on the feature. But yeah, it's the Flingza. Oh my gosh. We got a Gootuber, which is a type of charger that allows you to store the charge for longer periods of time, right? This comparison. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all, right? Because I know the whole point of these being able to store a charge mechanic is to get players who never would normally play a charger more interested in a charger. Right? That's not a bad thing, right?
Introducing the Dapple Dually.
We got Dapple Dualies.
Even for a pair of dualies, these things are incredibly light in weight.
Right, just lightweight dualies. Okay. We got sub-weapons, which some of them are the same, some of them are new. We've actually been, on the Splatoon Tumblr, we've actually been hearing about these sub-weapons There's like a little the auto bomber, poison mist. There's some others. Some of this stuff we also found out about thanks to the E3, both on the treehouse in the tournament, which it's funny. When the tournament happened, I was like, I don't care about the tournament, right? Who cares? And then America was in the finals, and it was like, holy crap, we may actually win this. Go, right? And I actually started watching the tournament. True story. I don't think I just watched the final few matches, so... Right, we saw a lot. We saw a lot of this. We saw some of the changes that are happening to the game.
Combinations. Now for the...
We got specials, which a lot of these we knew about. I think the only new one we didn't know about was these last two that they show off. Not the Ink Storm. They talk about how all of them are new. But this bomb launcher, this was already in the original game, right? It's just with some new bombs, like the auto bomber and the curling stone. Ink armor. This is new. I don't think we've known about this. It's kind of like the bubble, from what I can get out, in the original game, where it affects the players around you. Right? Okay, that's useful, I guess, right? It's a team-esque ability. But then we have a bubble, which is the baller. Oh my god. Okay, that's kind of... Again, it's Splatoon. It's charming. That's not bad. And it can climb vertical surfaces, which is very useful. Alright, we see all this gear, right? Lots of it. We see, these are some new stages, right? I don't think we knew about this Inkblot Academy. I know at one point they show off a, oh, what was it? They showed off a, like something like Port Mackerel that, yeah, this Sturgeon Shipyard. This is a brand new stage, right? And we also see changes, like if we pay attention here, sponges. So much like how they implemented grind rails from the original campaign in Moray Towers, we're now seeing sponges show up in Port Mackerel. Okay, I'm fine with that. No problem whatsoever. And speak of the devil, Moray Towers. I know it's not everyone's favorite stage. We have our 3 main ranked modes. This is kind of my one disappointment of this, well, one of my bigger ones. Is that, well, actually, it is my only real disappointment, because this is exactly what I expected from this thing. I expect an overview of all the gears, weapons, modes, and all that, and some new weapons and new modes, even though, again, we'll get to those later. They kind of held off on those for a while, but when it comes to these modes, right, Rainmaker, Tower Control, Zone, and Splat Zones, these are the 3 ranked modes from the original Splatoon, which it appears will be all here at launch, but there's not a new one. I wanted a new ranked mode. I think the one I had been toying around with was like a dog tags mode, you know, like you see in Call of Duty, but where it was a pair of squids versus inklings, and they fight each other, and when you kill one of the others, you get when you splat them, you get their dog tags, and you can either store them up, and you got to take them back to your base to check them in, kind of with that container thing that we see in Salmon Run. But if you store them up for a while, right, you can gain them, but if you die, you lose them all, right? It's a more combat-focused mode, which I know one of the nice things about Splatoon was that it's not entirely combat-focused. If you kind of want to stay back and just cover turf, you can always do that. But I feel like some people would like a more combat-focused mode, and if you put it into this rotation, I don't know if people would complain too much, but plus you always have the advantage of people still going around and inking turf to make it easier for you to traverse the stage. So I think that would work. That was just one idea I was spitballing. But I do hope we get more ranked modes than just these 3. I know they're capable of more. Like some of the changes, Tower Control now has these points where it stays at... We saw this all in the Inkling Invitational or whatever the hell they called it, where when it gets to a point, it kind of stops there for a few seconds, and you gotta wait for it to go all the way through rotation, right?
For possession.
The change for Rainmaker is that before Rainmaker shot like a giant tornado, kind of like the Inkzuka, this time, however, it's a grenade launcher.
The Rainmaker itself
See, look at this.
powerful charge shots.
It's a grenade launcher. That's not a bad change. I see how they're trying to do it differently. And then you can rank up.
This will result in being matched with
One of the big things is that you can rank up more than just one rank at a single time.
of a similar skill level in future rank.
And each thing has its own rank, which, okay, that's gonna make it a lot harder for some people, because even in all the time I put into the original Splatoon, I never got to S rank. I think the highest I ever got was A minus. I wasn't that good at the game. But this is going to be interesting, especially because, if you're good at Rainmaker but not good at, let's say, tower control, you'll have good ranks in that, but not in the other. And they do have an open slot for a new mode. I'd like to see more than one, but we'll see.
Move up 2 or more ranks.
And this is what I was talking about. You can move up 2 or more ranks. That's nice, I guess.
Allow you to form a team with friends.
They have this league battle, which I've seen that symbol before. But basically, you can join up with your friends and compete against other leagues, get medals, all that jazz. Okay, that's not bad.
Well,
It's a lot easier to move through this thing with arrow controls than it is a mouse. Why have I never done that before? Here we have Merch, who is basically the Judd of the game, right? You can order stuff, increase your slots, remove purge abilities. And then the ability chunk is this whole new feature where you can pick a piece of gear
a bit faster.
and then actually pick what you want based on a price. That's not a bad idea, right? I'll give them... Being able to pick what you want is very useful, and I know there are probably certain limitations to it, but it's still a nice thing to have either way, right?
This ability
We got some new gear abilities. They showed them at the end. I want to look through them. This one's not bad, where you can see it kind of worked, because there's no longer the thing that allows you to see your enemy's location, the point sensor. So now we have the thermal link ability, which tells you where they are behind walls and all that stuff. I'm fine with that. Let's see, what else do we got here? Object Shredder, it allows you to go through objects faster. Quick respawn. Wasn't that in the first game? I swear that was in the first game. There is nothing different with that. But Respawn Punisher makes you respawn slower. I'm pretty sure that is definitely new.
the left stick during
Drop roller. Watch when he lands, he can do a roll, kind of like if he has the dualies. Not a bad. That's actually one of the better ideas, because people do tend to spawn those things. Here's all of our gear. We don't know, I don't think we know what this one is. Right, that's definitely new. And some of these do have new designs, but weren't there more in the original Splatoon? I remember a lot of different abilities. It seems like they've removed some of the gear specific ones. Like, we have Ninja Squid, but we don't have Ninja Jump, which I'm fine with, because Ninja Jump was never useful, but Ninja Squid is. Right.
merch can add.
But that's not bad, right? I know I can guarantee you there is some ability that they no longer have that's going to upset some people.
Share.
We got Salmon Run, right? This was one of the few things I didn't really watch the Treehouse too much during E3, this was one of the few things I was interested in, right?
If you ask me.
And yeah, no, Salmon Run does look interesting. This is my problem with it. Times. You can only play it during certain times. That's disappointing. I would have liked to be able to play it anytime, right? Which you can do that with your friends. I don't know if you can do it I know you can do it local. I don't know if you can do it online. You better be able to do it online. That'd be disappointing. But we got so like how it looks like this is. Wait, how is that 228? And then it goes down to 720. So it seems like it'll be every 2 days. That's what it seems to be getting at. Wait. Oh, okay, that's that. Wait, is it every day? So it goes for 24 hours every day. Why not just have it go all the time? I mean, like, right? You guys, 5 on the 22nd to 5 on the 23rd. That's 24 hours. And then there's nothing for 24 hours, and then it starts up 24 hours later, right? Okay. I'm assuming that 228 through 718 was for testing, right? I think that's where they're going with that. That's weird. It isn't. The only difference seems to be the weapons available seems to be changing, and that'll probably be it. Ooh, I muted it.
Let's see.
But I don't know how I feel about that. Right?
Missiles.
We got some new salmon in the salmon, or at least they showed them off. If you saw the treehouse, they showed off all this. That is one of the few treehouse segments I do definitely recommend, because it has its moments, right? And it does go over a lot of these enemies and a lot of these like stage hazards. Salmon Run looks like a fine mode, right? I don't have a problem with it. I don't like the time thing, but it's not the worst thing to happen, right? I've definitely seen worse. Next, they talked about Splatnet 2, which... Okay, the original Splatnet, I never used. It was, I guess, okay, it told you about what stages were coming. I guess it was kind of useful, right? For those who were interested. I used it maybe once, and... Right, I know nothing about it. Well, okay, I do remember hearing about it in Chugga Conroy's Let's Play, because I kind of forgot it existed. Go watch that Let's Play. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one. But right, so it tells you about what stages are coming, gear, all that jazz. You can actually buy gear from it. Right, and one of the new things. Oh, okay, this was a funny feature where it tracks how much area you splatted and compares it to real life places. That it's a little thing, but it's a nice detail, right? But yeah, like I was saying, you can order gear from it that you can probably pick up from merch or whatever. And this is part of the Nintendo Online app, which I know some people were like, oh, well, because online's delayed to 2018, it's not coming out to 2018. But I'm pretty sure this is going to come out when Splatoon launches. Because they talk about down here how it only has to be paid for in 2018. But I'm pretty sure this is going to come sooner rather than later, right? And this is just one of the modes within it, right? Easily accessible. Which, okay, there is an entire discussion alone on whether this voice chat system is good or garbage. I'm kind of on the fence. I like some aspects of it, like not being able to be tethered to your TV, right? Like, so if I've got my Switch on, like, have I ever showed my setup for how I do it? I've got my Switch like up here, and then now I'm way on the, not the other side of the room, but halfway across the room in a chair a lot lower, right? Being able to distance myself and not worry about it too much isn't a bad thing entirely, right? Having more free movement. But the way they're doing, like, oh, you can get in, you have to sync the two things up, right? Jury-rig this giant machine. You've seen, right? If not, look it up. I think it's the Hori headset. Oh my god. That's not a good design. Not at all, right? And I still kind of do hope that they do eventually implement it in the console, because the Switch can run it, right? But we'll see what they do. Oh my god. Nintendo, man, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But being able to chat with your friends and all that's not a bad idea. And hey, maybe the Switch will get Discord and solve all our problems, right? That actually would... I know they're talking about it. That's not a bad thing. Right? Also, use social media to invite friends to private matches. Does the online app do that right now? To allow you to, like, chat with your friends other than voice chat? Or do you have to do that on, like, Twitter and get people on and then do it? Because, yeah, no. I'm assuming this is the earliest version of this Nintendo Online app, and as time goes on, it'll get better. But God, this does not look. This doesn't look good, right? They talked about some basic changing functionality, the amiibo support, which is still useless, right? Being able to save your character to the amiibo, who gives a shit? An ability to take photos, again, who gives a shit? This is so dumb. Oh my god. Oh my god. Especially to lock it away. I mean, like, if it was just normally in the game, I wouldn't complain too much, but by locking it away behind an amiibo, that's really stupid. And even though these aren't the worst amiibo designs in the world, I really don't care for them that much. They are... Okay, so even though the Switch doesn't have Miiverse, they're still bringing back the drawings, which makes me really happy, because there were some amazing drawings in the first Splatoon. The first Splatoon had a really great art community, and yeah, no, I'm glad they're bringing this feature back, because this was probably the best implementation of Miiverse on the Wii U.
Media sites too.
So I'm not complaining at all, right? Like, you see art like that and better all the time in the original Splatoon. So I have no complaints. We have Krusty Sean, right? Remember, he was the shoe salesman. He now sells you food, which, okay. I like, look at this food. And these gives you buff during battle, being able to get more XP, getting more money. Okay, that's good, right? This is the shoal, which does your local player, right? I hope this works online. We don't actually know. We got new, oh, it does LAN. These are the new, modes that you play in between games, right? You guys, you know, oh god, the squid jump, the beat one. So there's Dance Dance Revolution, a music one, and a claw grabber. Okay, I'm actually most interested in the claw grabber, but we'll see. They talked a little bit about the single player campaign. The single player campaign was a lot of fun in the original Splatoon. It wasn't perfect, but it was still fun. This one looks interesting as well. Oh, there was a really cool thing. Oh yeah, the grappling hook, right? That's cool. It's just okay, right? It looks to be a more in-depth Splatoon or it looks like a more in-depth version of the Splatoon campaign, which one of my favorite features of this is that you can now pick up and use any weapon. You're not just limited to one, or if you have the amiibo, what was it, 3? Yeah, no. You can use anything now. That's good, right? I'm fine with that.
We've seen some fresh.
And then we got to updates. This is the most important thing, which I've actually gotten a lot more out of this than I thought. Holy crap, I'm going longer than the actual direct itself. What is wrong with me? The second I saw this picture, though, I was, holy shit, this is awesome. This stupid umbrella gun is awesome. It's basically the same reaction I had to the ink brush in the original Splatoon, and then the ink brush came out and it was shit. And then the Octobrush came out and remedied this, so let's hope this isn't shit. Right? But this is our new umbrella weapon, which is the new type of weapon I really wanted, right? Because one of the things I wanted was new weapons, and this is the Splatbrella. It shoots, but it's also a shield, right? That's cool. I like the I really like this Splatbrella. And you can fire it off. Yeah, no, that thing's really cool. I'm glad for that weapon. All right, that's one of the new ones I wanted. This is a special, right? But it blows bubbles. Okay, Kirby has taught us that bubbles can be dangerous. Right? I have no problem with that. New gear, right? We all expect that. That's not anything special. New stages, that looks like an interesting stage. A boat, that's very generic, but I have no problem with that. And so updates will go for a year, which is basically what the original Splatoon did. And 2 years of Splatfests. Okay, I think the original Splatoon gave us a year of Splatfests. I think. Which, okay. No, I have no problem. Splatfests are fine. It's a way to get those salty sea snails. And one of the new things is that you can either join a Splatfest solo, or you can team up with your friends to do it in, like, a group. Again, okay, that's actually one of the better things. Right? I don't have a problem with that. Splatfest were fine, right? They worked. I like the idea of competing for a wider goal, and even though they weren't always great, or even though they were definitely one-sided with how they changed how points matched up at the end, they for the most part worked. For the most part. And then this had me shocked. So because Callie has been kidnapped and who knows what happened to her, and Marie is kind of busy trying to undo whatever happened to her and stop the Octarians, somebody had to take their place, right? That's obvious. And who we got to take their place is kind of awesome. Right? These two are awesome. So, Marina. She's an Octolink. Boom! Sold right there. That's all I needed. That is awesome. Great design as well. Look at that. This is our new music group. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I love this character. New best waifu. I know, we can never replace Marie. After the waifu wars that have been fought, that's kind of blasphemous. Oh, the waifu wars. Oh, God. What horrible times. Right? And then the other one is Pearl, right? They're fine. Pearl is fine, right? She's... I don't know, but Marina, you can't top that. That's awesome. It gives me hope. That playable Inkling mode that I thought we were going to get and then never did. We'll see. We will see. But, new waifus. Oh my god, are the waifu wars going to happen all over again? Oh god. And yeah, they now do the morning talk show, which again, I hope they do add a skip function, because even if not, because I know some people will want it, right? Convenience for convenience sake, right? But yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Oh gosh, it's great. It is great. Oh god. So the big thing they're talking about here is that they're doing a Splatfest world premiere. Yes, that is the day that is like 6 days before the game comes out, and it's going for a few hours. And I'm assuming this is going to be done through the Global Testfire app. They didn't really explain. There's probably something you may have to download. Ice Cream versus Cupcake, which Team Ice Cream all the way. No, not cupcakes. Cupcakes are trash. Cupcakes are blasphemous. All hail to the Muffin Lord, right? But okay, a Splatfest world premiere, not a bad idea. I swear I saw people talking about this on the Reddit, but I'm fine with it. It's some more time to play the game before it officially releases. And then the release date, again, it's in a little over, it's in like 15 days, or at least from the upload of this video. I don't have a problem with that. I'm glad we're getting it. And yeah, that's the Direct. I got a lot more out of that than I was expecting, because I felt like there was because when I first watched it, I was like, okay, we know this. Oh, and in the last like 5 minutes, here's all the new awesome stuff. That was pretty awesome. That Splatbrella is pretty great. We got the new waifus, which are I'm down for new waifus. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Splatoon 2. I know some people will say it's too similar. I don't have a problem with that. Splatoon 1 was great. It's the old saying. Did you like this game? Do you want some more? Well, here it is, right? And since the original Splatoon no longer does Splatfests and no longer does Splatfest, hey, boom, here's some more. I know people will say that's gimmicky, but I don't have a problem with that. I like the Direct. It was a lot of what we've seen, but I would have liked a new ranked mode, but hey, future DLC, hopefully, only time will tell. But yeah, with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.